Hi, this is Mike Cosentino. Welcome to SBLbiz TV. Today we're going to talk to you about paid traffic for your small local business. You know, there are a lot of different variations of paid traffic that you can use. We'll talk about a few here today that I think are worth you exploring more. First is PPC, pay-per-click. The next is PPV, pay-per-view. There's also something called media traffic. You can actually purchase so many viewers to come to your site. If you want to get like 10,000 viewers over a 30-day period of time, you can do that, and it can be efficient if you know what you're doing. Along with that, you should take a look at other people's list. They call it OPL, other people's list. You can actually buy from like news medias or directories list of people to come to your site, or you can put an advertisement on their newsletter and they'll actually drive traffic to your site. I think when you're looking at the different variations of these, PPC, PPV, OPL, a lot of different acronyms here, what is the best is the common question. I think the most important thing is first you have to find a good campaign, and then you have to test. So what does that mean? Well, first you have to be able to put together a marketing piece for your product or service that you know has worked in other media spaces. Let's say, for example, you had an offering that you made and it was done through direct mail, okay, and it pulled very well. That would be a great candidate online to test for either pay-per-click or pay-per-view, or just doing a media buy where you have so many people visit your specific site on that offer. Okay. Along with that, I think an important element to consider when you're using paid traffic is building your list. Whenever you get into really marketing, or utilizing marketing through paid traffic, I think the first element you have to look at is how do I build my list? Secondly, how do I convert them into actual sales? Because obviously, if you build your list, ultimately you'll be able to continue to market to them, and you'll develop a relationship hopefully with them and be able to create sales with that as well. So I think when you're taking a look at using paid traffic, remember that. Remember, first test. Secondly, make sure your campaign is good. And I think a lot of you are established business out there that are watching this. You can utilize some campaigns that have worked offline as well. Okay. Then remember that you're going to want to actually drive them to an opt-in page, a landing page. And let's talk about that next. Landing pages. When you're creating a landing page, I highly recommend to test different variations of it. Say if you could set up 3 different landing pages. And what is a landing page? It's strictly one piece. Consider it like this. It's like a sheet of paper sitting online that has your sales copy in it, and then people can read it, and they can type in their email and their name and shoot it through to you, and then that takes them to your website. I think it's a great idea when you're using paid traffic to use landing pages as test pages. Set up like 3 of them, and then ultimately have that person enter their information in if they're interested, which would direct them right to your offer on your website. Okay? I think it's a great way to be able to test paid traffic, and ultimately lets you know which one of your landing pages is working best, and you can test them right alongside each other. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to do that on a regular basis to continue to tweak it and improve it. As you build your list, you'll build your sales on both ends, both your list, because you'll be able to market to them, and obviously as you continue to convert more people from the landing page into sales as well. Next, I'd like to talk to you about local SEO with that, okay, and how that fits in. I think it's important when you're utilizing paid traffic that you don't forget about the fact that you have to have some form of local SEO and local presence. This, the question comes up, and I'm sure if you've done any research online and all, local SEO is a real hot button out there. I think the most important thing, if you're utilizing paid traffic, you should also have some form of local SEO. And the easiest way to do that is through directories. And we've talked about that before, and I would highly recommend going to SBLbiz.com to find out more about directories and how you sign up for them there. We have some articles that we've put to our site that you can utilize there to be able to better help you. So don't want you to think that just because you're utilizing paid traffic that you're getting away from local SEO as well. So in summary, I'd like to talk to you about what we discussed here today. First off, we talked about paid traffic, and that there's 4 categories that you can look at. There's the PPC, pay-per-click, your pay-per-view, PPV, your OPL, which is other people's list, and then your media buys. And then we also talked about how to use a landing page. So remember, landing pages are important to test your campaign and being able to use something that was successful offline. And lastly, we tie that into the fact that it's important that you use some form of local SEO. And I highly recommend directories, because ultimately, if a person finds you, they're probably going to want to check more out about you. And if you're on, for example, Yelp or Google Places, things like that, those directories, top directories out there, it's going to help you in converting them into sales. So remember that. And lastly is budgeting of your time. Ultimately, know how much time you have and how much money you have to spend on your campaigns. So I hope you found this information here today helpful. And as always, for more information, tools, and resources, you can always go to SBLbiz.com. Thank you for watching today's show, and make it a great day.